What is a passport bro?
Okay, passport bros are men that are so fed up with Western women because we're all apparently so woke and so terrible and Western women don't want to be wives that they are now going to other countries to find wives.
Wife material.
That's like which countries?
Southeast Asia, the Philippines, the Dominican Republic.
So it's like the opposite of the mail order bride.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
okay.
So a lot of these men get remote jobs. And so they go there and they live in these countries and then they meet these women. And then women in the Western world, specifically the United States, are so pissed off about it. And they're like, you're going to all these countries where these women don't even know how to speak English. They can't even read. They're so uneducated. And then the men like film themselves with these women and like show themselves on dates. And the women are so elegant and they're so well spoken and they're so traditional. And they're like, look at these women. Yeah, passport bros. Because Western women are so bad.
Did not know about that.
What's good, YouTube? What's up, Fit Fam? As you guys can see, I'm on my way to the gym, and I figured I'd stop and slide in real quick and make a video a little bit earlier than expected. So, it's your boy Allende from Authentic Alphas, soon to be The Dreaded Truth. And in kind, I'd actually like to talk about what I think is the truth about why passport bros would be successful in these other countries, right? So the first thing I want to do is talk about the fact that there's nothing new about this concept, bro. This traveling, whether it's for opportunities, whether it's for improved quality of life.
Most people I know are living off less than $1,000 per month in Vietnam.
There you go, less than 1,000 USD a month to live there. Affordable living, not surviving, but living, going out, eating out, stuff like that. That's more than you can say for most people living here in the West that have to penny pinch. Most Americans don't have $400 saved up for an emergency. Most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Most people here in the West are surviving. Most people here are not living at all.
Whether it's to get the advantage on the money conversion,
At a restaurant.
or it's to get the advantage in the sexual marketplace. Or it's to get the advantage in marriage and union and having a family, right?
A lot of Filipino wanted to know, first of all, were you in church? Are you a religious man? Are you Catholic? Do you have religious beliefs? They want to know that, you know. They want to know how many kids you have. Do you have children? Do you want children? Or you know, do you have a problem with children? I mean, it started to get to, I had my own list, and I'd say after about the second or third, whatever, I already knew what they were going to ask. So I would just start telling them, you know, this is what I'm here for.
Again, none of these things are new, not even remotely new. So for me, an old school dude, an 80s baby, it's like super irritating the fact that everybody keeps presenting this conversation like it's new. The only thing that's new about it is nowadays everybody talks about everything they're doing with the public. Nowadays, people post their meals. People gotta tag everything. They gotta say, I'm here, I'm there, I was here, I was there, I'm with this person. That's the difference, guys. Back in the day, obviously we didn't have social media. Obviously the internet wasn't a thing. So these things happened, but it was literally nothing to call home about. And the evidence wasn't in people telling on themselves or people bragging. The evidence was in people, actual human beings that existed as proof that this was taking place. My mother, of course, is mixed. Her mother was Chinese and her father was Jamaican. She's mixed. My mother also knew people her age that were the result of American men, primarily American black men, dating and marrying foreign women. So I grew up with this being a concept. When I started getting to that age, puberty, liking girls and whatnot, I remember having a conversation with my favorite uncle like it was last week. And he was a military dude. And he was telling me how much variety and different the girls are and the women are or whatever in the countries that he was stationed in. So I already knew at a young age that, like, yeah, there's a lot of cute girls in the neighborhood, there's a lot of cute girls at school or whatever, but chill out, homeboy. One day you'll be old enough to go places and go and explore. Plus, I always traveled as a kid. I lived in Jamaica, came over to the States at 5. I lived in England from like 8 to 10 years old. So I had already lived in 3 countries before I was 10 years old. So having a passport, going to other countries, I always knew I was gonna be doing that when I was like a man and I could go where I wanted to go and it wasn't about where my parents sent me or whatever. So in the back of my mind, I always knew that I don't care if Keisha has an attitude.
Passport bros are just predators. You're leaving America to go to another country to prey on the women there who you perceive as being more submissive. That's predatory behavior.
Get this bitch out of here.
I don't care if LaShonda is acting up. I don't give a damn because I know one day I'm gonna keep going further and further and further away from home. When I was a teenager, it was going out of my neighborhood, out of the ghetto, out of the hood, going to the suburbs and dealing with white chicks, Italian chicks, Irish chicks, Spanish chicks. Even in the neighborhood, I was dealing with the Dominican girls, the Puerto Rican girls or whatever. They always treated the brothers better. So I know a lot of guys have that story.
With black women growing up wasn't so good. When I started dating white girls, my first experience with white girls is when I went to college. I tried to date some black girls when I was in college. They did not like me. I was skinny, I was strong. Right. I was teased from high school, even to college. I got teased for being dark skinned.
Damn, so they tease you, cuz?
Yeah. So there was a lot of self-esteem issues.
Right.
No, I'm being dead honest. So when I got my opportunity, when my first experience with a white girl, I'm like, okay, it wasn't bad, but that wasn't. I just totally gravitated to white girls after that. Right. That wasn't the situation. So again, my experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good.
So it's funny when the black women are like complaining about brothers dating out or whatever. I never let that affect me, bro. Because I got over it at such a young age because my aunts were the first to complain. Okay, so long before black women my age had an issue with my dating preferences, my aunts were already giving me a hard time. The only female in my family that didn't give me a hard time was my mom. But think about that, my mom's mixed. Duh. So my mom can't give me a hard time because my mom technically ain't even black and her mother wasn't black. But all my aunts that had black moms was giving me a hard time from I was young. So I had already got immune to it. Because my logic was, my first girlfriend, first of all, was a white chick. She was an Irish chick in England. We ain't want to do nothing but kissing, but the point was the first girl I kissed was a white, redhead chick, Irish chick, all the way in Birmingham, Handsworth, England. So, you know what I'm saying? That's my first experience. So it's like, you ain't about to tell me I have to date, the black chicks that are giving me the hardest time.
You can't come over here. If the U.S. women don't want you, we don't want you.
No, damn it, no, god damn it, don't say we. Understand this, you don't speak for Nigerians. And Passport Bros don't want you. Madam, the category you're in, is plenty of them here. I need someone to explain, why does this keep happening? It's always the ones you don't want speaking.
That are the most likely to tease you, most likely to make fun of you, most likely to tell you you're not good enough, most likely to reject you. It's just the way it is, bro. And I'm telling you right now, this ain't no sob story. Sometimes when I hear brothers tell these stories, it's like, damn, who hurt you? And it's like trauma and it's a sob story. It was never a sob story for me, right? And I'm not saying that because I'm better than anyone. I'm saying that because of the reason pre-mentioned. I had already been traveling. I was already a passport bro at the age of 5. So the black chicks rejecting me never fazed me. It just was like, I observed it like, oh, word, that's how you feel about it? All right. I always knew I could do better. Which also was frustrating for me growing up because I was always trying to share this information with other guys, with my peers. This was before the internet. This was before MySpace. Before Facebook, I was trying to tell dudes, bro, why don't you just go over to this neighborhood? Why don't you just go over to the suburbs? Why don't you just come with me to so-and-so? Man, I ain't sit on a bus for 2 hours. Now just think about that for a minute, guys. How frustrated I might be after I just told you that. Dudes were telling me no, they ain't trying to sit on no bus or no train for 2 hours in the 90s. Guys were telling me they ain't trying to put in that much effort to find more variety in women and different responses. And now you dudes is over here talking about passports, bro, I'm getting on a plane. You're flying 6 hours now. Now you flying 8 hours now. Okay? These are actual people I'm talking about. Dudes I know now, I've known when I was younger. Now they getting on planes talking about, yo, bro, I know you know about that passport stuff, bro, right? I'm like, yeah, dude, you're late. Oh yeah, well, I'm going to so-and-so, and I'm looking at these niggas like, oh yeah, what do you want to applaud, dude? I was telling you back in 2000. I was telling you back in 97. I was telling you back in 96, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let's get on this train. Let's get on this bus. Let's go here. And you wasn't trying to sit on a bus for 2 hours. Now you're telling me you're going on a plane for 7 hours now. So anyhow, guys, now that I got all that little rant out of there right there, that ain't nothing new, guys. You guys ain't inventing nothing. The next thing I want to move on to that's true, that we need to put in the conversation, right? So the first thing I want to put in the conversation is, this ain't new. Stop acting like you found something. The next thing is the mechanics aren't different, guys, all right? I see a lot of women struggling with this, and we know that they're coming from somewhere else, guys. They're mad.
If they prefer to go overseas or wherever they want to go to get a woman from another nationality to be their servant, I think you ought to be happy, because you don't want to be it. And you shouldn't. You don't have to be it. Those women have not progressed yet. You understand? They just don't know any better. They've been raised in a certain way. And these passport bros are going to take advantage of them.
They're resenting this whole thing. They're losing their orbiters. They're losing their options. They're losing guys they can reject. They're using guys that they can use and put their Cash App in their bio. And, you know, all these suckers are like, I'd rather just go to another country if I got a trick off, if I got a simp or whatever. So we know most of the reasons why the women are mad. I don't care about that. What I'm talking about is their lack of understanding of the situation. So we already know they're going to try to phrase it as you're ex-trafficking, or you're taking advantage of impoverished women, or same way they're going to say older men dating younger women is somehow manipulating younger women, but we're celebrating these younger women going to college and wasting their life, or starting to OnlyFans and ruining their life. Somehow an 18 and 19-year-old can do that, but they can't be the girlfriend or fiance or wife or mother of a child to an older man, right? So we know that's foolishness, right? But the thing about these women is that they have never been to these places. These women are under-traveled women, all right? They're women who, if they've traveled, they might have went to Cancun, which don't count, okay? Tourism town, don't count. Or they went to the Bahamas, which really all you did was go on a cruise. You didn't actually go to like all the islands of the Bahama and integrate into the community and the society or whatever. So these are women that don't know nothing about other cultures, and they don't understand the dynamic, or they don't understand what is the exact advantage that these guys are getting. That's why they blurt things out like, oh, well, these women just want you for your passport, when most of these women do not want to leave their country. They want to live well in their country. Or, oh, they're just using you for your money. Well, every woman wants resources and the guy to have money. Like, what do we, right? So we understand how silly they sound, right? The point is, they, as well as the men, do not understand what is the technology, right? What is the mechanism that's the advantage? And what I want to share with you guys is real simple. There is no real difference. Women are not different anywhere you go. What's different is the environment. What's different is the circumstances. That's why when you bring the women here, it's the same damn thing, because it was never the women to begin with. It was the society you're in, the influences of where you are, the laws and the norms of where you are. Women can wear certain things in certain places, other places they'll be shamed. Go to Dubai and wear that outfit and see what happens. All right. So what I want you guys to understand, because I consult a lot of guys, I'm talking to a lot of guys on the phone, and when I hear them talking about traveling, what their plans on whatnot, I'm like, dude, you got this all wrong. Like 80% of you dudes that's thinking, I'm gonna grab a passport, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go there, what you got it all wrong. A lot of guys are looking at pictures, You're looking at mediocre looking dudes, average looking dudes, average at best, with these beautiful women and thinking, whoa, this is it. It's gonna be easy. I'm making 55, 65K a year. I'm making 70K a year. It's just gonna, whoa, slow your roll.
Rookie passport bros, this happens. The veterans, the OGs, the expats know these women inside and out. You wouldn't pick up on until you've done 5-6 trips to Brazil. We recognize actions that these women do, cultural things, tells. You meet a beautiful girl, and to you, being new in a place like Brazil, you've come from such a famine of femininity. But an expat or a Rio vet to tell you, yo, I've tried to tell you, dog, you need to watch out for this, or that chick's not really into you, or she has this motive. Listen, women are on that finessing. They do that worldwide. And this happens down there. The same thing that Donovan is talking about. Oh, she's different and blah, 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 blah. And then you know that it's gone from a teachable moment to a learning experience for the gentleman that has to go through it. So this happens all the time down in Brazil.
Okay? Let's say that you're making 120K or 130K or 150K, whatever, well over 100K in the States, okay? Or in UK. You have the same advantage as a guy that's making 55, 60K going to Brazil. So why are those guys having such a hard time with the women here? Oh, I'm in there because the women here, their expectations are unrealistic. And I just said this dude's making 150K. So what happened? What happened is he has an advantage, but he only has an advantage in one cubicle, one area. Everything in life is comparison, guys. That's where I'm going with this. Everything in life is comparison, right? I had this Colombian chick I was dealing with some years ago in Miami, and she straight up told me, like, yeah, I can't be with you like that. I'm like, what happened? Why? Thought we were having a good time. She's like, yeah, but I'm gonna be honest with you, you can't afford to take care of me. Like, you can't afford to be with me long term or whatever. I'm like, what? Still, I make okay money or whatever. Basically, the lifestyle that she wanted to be provided, I couldn't afford. Again, didn't bother me too much because I had heard this prior from a Brazilian chick I was messing with a while before that, like right after my divorce. And this Brazilian chick was fine as hell. She made a ton of money. Interior designer, had her own office, people worked for her. She was the boss. And she told me that it was because I didn't make enough money. And I was scratching my head. I'm like, what? She was like, if I had a baby, you couldn't afford to take care of me and the baby. I'm like, what are you talking about? You make enough money to take care of you, the baby, and me. And she was like, the way I was raised, the man has to make more money, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Of course, we all know this stuff now, guys. But I'm talking about more than 10 years ago. So back then, I was like, what? The point is, I was dominating in the looks category. I was dominating in the swag category, right? Dominating in the bedroom category. There's a lot of categories had the advantage. But where I didn't have the advantage was the income category. Back then, I wasn't making nowhere near 100K a year, right? I was making like, I know how much I was making back then. I was making between 65 and 70K a year, and I was struggling to get to that 70. Like, I did it like 1 year, and the next year I was back down to like 63, 64. So that's where I was. I was like in the 60s, guys, okay? The point I'm trying to make is that one of them was Brazilian, one of them was Colombian. How did I solve that problem for myself ego-wise? Real simple. One of them, I told him to her face how I was gonna handle it. The other one, I didn't. The Brazilian one, I didn't tell it to her face, but I eventually ended up going to Brazil, and I made it my business to deal with chicks that looked similar to her, but better than her. And it was hard to find redheads in Brazil, guys. She was a redhead, freckles and everything, right? But she was finding it in a mug, body was crazy, sex was off the chain, amazing. So you can imagine my heart was a little bit broken. And she was into fitness and all that. Like, I liked everything about this chick. I was an artist. She was, into interior design. We had amazing time together, which was weird because she literally cried while she rejected me. She said, I love you and the whole 9 yards, but you just don't make enough money. And that was a teachable moment for me, guys. I learned a lot about women back then. I realized, like, wow, they could be in love with you. The sex could be amazing. You can give them the most orgasm, all of these things. But if you're not making enough money to provide the lifestyle that they make, when their logic kicks in, their logic is gonna say that you don't make the cut, even though their heart and their emotions and their vagina is attached to you. And I know she was telling the truth because it took her so long to tell me that, bro. We were going back and forth and we were dealing with each other for a long time before she finally just came out and said, that's the problem, that's the issue. And I'm like, That's what it was. That's why you be acting weird every so often. That's why you shut me out every so often and you ghost me every minute. Because she was trying to fall out of love with me. Simply because I didn't make enough money, guys. So yes, women do logic, but when they do logic, it's their hypergamy that they're logicking. So anyhow, so how I solved that, because you know we all got egos, guys. And my ego was bruised. I can admit that to y'all. My ego was bruised, bro. I got rejected. I just went out there and banged a bunch of Brazilian chicks, bro, and I felt much better about it. I'm just saying. And what I realized is all those Brazilian chicks felt I made enough money. So I learned that lesson real early in the game. But I wasn't trying to move nowhere, and I wasn't trying to settle down, I wasn't trying to do all of that. So when the Colombian chick said the same exact thing, she gave me the same damn speech, same explanation. I like you so much and blah, 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 but you don't make enough money. So I just told her to her face, bro. Straight saw. I said, you know what? Don't even trip. You from Medellin, right? She's like, yeah. She's like, what's that got to do with anything? I said, no worries. I said, I'm gonna go there within a month. She said, huh? I said, yeah. And I'm gonna make it my business to bang as many chicks that look like you, just younger and better as possible. And not only did I did it, guys, I sent her pictures and videos and all this kind of stuff. And a lot of you guys are like, that's pathetic, Allende. Not the type of relationship me and her had. She actually was amused by it. She was giving me all kind of thumbs up and she's like, yo, that girl's hot and so on and so forth. To this day, we're really close friends. So it wasn't even pathetic like that. It's just, I was saying that I'm gonna do this and I was just proving that I was gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't even like I was trying to hurt her feelings or anything. I was just saying that I was hurt and it's cool. Dust your shoulders off, pimp. This is how I'm gonna handle it and how I'm gonna get over it. We all gotta have our own type of therapy. So anyway, I'm saying all of this junk that I'm saying, guys, as to say that you have to dominate in all these different categories. So the point I'm trying to make is that just because you're killing it in one category, you're still gonna be temporary. So if you're killing it in the money category, you're out earning the competition. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to tell you, everything's comparison. A dude that owns a new Benz is killing it until another dude says, that Benz is nice, check out my new boat. And that boat is nice until another dude says, yeah, but I just bought a private jet. It's all comparison, dude. But what I'm saying is, when you're only dominating in one or a few categories, no matter what you're experiencing with the female that's positive, is going to be temporary. Because eventually they're gonna get over to thinking about the other category. So let's say it's that you're out earning and you go to whatever, Philippines, Thailand, whatever, and you're out earning. Bro, for the first X amount of time, she's gonna be treating you like you are number one, king of the hill. You're gonna be Denzel Washington. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. She's gonna be love bombing you and all that good stuff, right? And then once you, Beyonce, put a ring on it, that's when she's gonna start thinking about the other categories. That's when she's gonna be like, yeah, he sucks in bed. That's when she's gonna be like, yeah, his junk is this big, right? That's when she's gonna be like, yeah, he's not that tall, right? That's when all the other things are gonna start to come into play and you're gonna deal with some type of issue because of that, okay? It's not gonna be this fairy tale happily ever, passport ever that you think, right? I'm just keeping it real with you guys. I know a lot of the women try to say it to you guys in spite, like, those women are just gonna use you anyway. Okay, we're in the logical world, guys, right? I'm saying that not to bust any bubble. I'm saying that as to say you still have to be competitive. You still have to be well-rounded. You still gotta do the 360 degrees of attraction, right? Of dominance. And a lot of guys are one-trick ponies. And that is cool if you're dealing with the temporary. If you're a bartender and you want to give hot chicks free drinks so that you can get closer to the buns, go ahead, do it, whatever. The point is you ain't gonna wife no chick up giving her free drinks as a bartender, right? If you're a trainer and you want to train good-looking women for free so you can get in their pants, okay, cool, you can do that in the temporary. Okay, you're gonna be sleeping with a lot of your clients, which is lame as hell, but I'm not judging. The point I'm making is if your goal is to get butt, it's gonna work, but only in the temporary. You're not gonna form no long-lasting relationships, no meaningful relationships with no women using this little gimmick or using this little one area of life that you have an advantage in, right? If you want to be the guy that's present and listens to her and knows how to communicate with her and knows how to talk to her and make her feel a certain way, that's going to be real good, whatever. So she's ready to have an orgasm. So she's ready to squirt. Okay? Then she's going to be screwing some dude that's a straight up brute who's not in touch with his feminine side, who doesn't know how to be present, who doesn't know how to listen to her and doesn't know how to hear her, and he doesn't know how to do any of that, but he knows how to. Okay? And then she'll come and talk to you about it afterwards, her feelings. She'll come and apologize to you, and then she'll tell you about her feelings and how it wasn't her fault and whatever, and so on. And you'll still be there feeling inadequate because you didn't handle that department, guys. Just like if you're broke, but you're good looking and you do everything else, when she needs some money, or she needs some business advice or some investment advice or whatever, she's gonna go to some other dude. When you find out, you're gonna feel a way about it. You're gonna feel like she cheated on you in some way because she let another dude pay for something or give her money or whatever. She needed him because your wallet couldn't handle it. So anyhow, guys, I'm not rambling. I'm just trying to prepare guys, and I want guys to understand overall that it doesn't matter where you go, the rules are the same. It's competition. Everything is comparison, okay? I'll give you another example of how everything's comparison. Last time I was in Mexico, I hooked up with some chick. She's cute as hell. Can't share pictures, guys. It's just kind of weird, right? She's cute as hell, right? And it was weird because she didn't really want to do much of anything else. Like, I'm down to do whatever. We can go out, we can have a good time, eat, do some activity, whatever the heck. She was just like, nah, I just want to come over and chill. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just chilling right now. She's like, okay, I just want to come over and chill. So she did that like 2 or 3 times. So I was like, all right, don't really got to do much but pay for Ubers with this one. And she was fine as hell. She didn't look like the type of chick that was just going to be down for Netflix and chill. But she says to me, you're the tallest guy I ever been with. And I'm like, what? And I didn't expect that one. I probably would have expected you're the only black guy I've been with. Which I didn't bother to ask her, but I'm pretty sure I'm the only black dude she's ever been with. So I guess I'm winning in darkness, the darkest guy she's ever been with, right? But she said, you're the tallest dude that I've ever been with. And I thought that was funny because she had already called me tall. And I just was like, if you had said that before we met, I could see how she could think I was tall. A lot of people think I'm taller than I am until they meet me. And they're like, oh, not as tall as I thought you were. I thought you were 6 foot. I thought you were 6'1". I'm only 5'10", guys. She said that after meeting me. She's like, you're tall. And she said that a couple of times. And I'm like, I'm not really tall. The point I'm making, guys, is comparison. When you look around in Mexico, you see tall guys every once in a while. But they're like 5% of the population is I would say over 5'10". Maybe I should look it up. Maybe you should look it up. But I'm just saying, the point I'm making is comparison. 5'10" is not tall, okay? 6 foot ain't even really that tall. But what she's familiar with. Now, if we were somewhere else and we were Scandinavia, I'd be considered tiny, bro. So it's a comparison thing, right? The amount of times in Mexico where girls have told me that I've had the biggest junk that they've ever dealt with. And the first few times, the first couple of years, I kept thinking, why do girls keep obsessing over it? It's not that big. But again, guys, it's comparison. It's what they've experienced prior. It's what they're used to. A place where a girl has never mentioned the size of my junk is Brazil. So if you're a black dude, if you're a brother, I'm telling you right now, don't go to Brazil thinking you're gonna dominate with those type of characteristics. You're not gonna go to Brazil and dominate with your complexion, bro. There's plenty of guys this color in Brazil. You're not gonna dominate with your genetics. Brazil's genetics is ridiculous. Go to a bodybuilding competition in Brazil, someone from outside never wins. Okay, that's a little fun fact in the bodybuilding community that we already know. Nobody goes to Brazil and beats Brazilians, bro. They have ridiculous genetics. And then of course, when it comes to their junk, Brazilian dudes aren't known for having medium size, average size, or small junks. So that's a place that you're not gonna go and impress them with the size of your junk. But if you go to China, if you go to Mexico, you know what I mean? I don't know about the Philippines, I haven't been yet, but there are some countries where you'll go and just being average height, you'll be taller than everybody. And having an average size junk, you have a bigger dick than everybody, right? So I'm just telling you guys, just like most of everyone is going to these places to dominate with their wallet. All I'm trying to tell you guys is do not go out nowhere and be no one-trick pony. It's not going to work well for you, okay? You still got to prioritize your fitness. You still got to prioritize your social skills. You still got to prioritize your bedroom skills. And you still got to look smacks as much as possible, guys. All right? So I know you guys are seeing a lot of average-ass dudes dressed like whatever, you know what I mean? Just going to these places and doing it up. But keep in mind, you don't necessarily know the character of the girls that are in these pictures.
Men are leaving the West. Men are leaving America. They're tired of American women. They want to go find feminine, pure women overseas. What do you guys think about that?
I completely support it 100%. I think if a man is looking for a pure woman, then, the West is a very, very scarcely our feminine, pure woman here.
Okay.
I mean, each to their own. If they want to do that, go for it. I mean, it doesn't affect me at all, really.
It kind of does, though.
I mean, it might, due to like the fact that there are less men, but like obviously if they're looking for a pure woman, like I won't fit that for them.
You don't know how long these girls are going to be around. A lot of these guys are going to the major cities, and the major cities is not where you're necessarily going to find good wives, guys. I'm just trying to tell you guys, bro, because I don't want to see anybody get hustled, and then all the girls are going to be like, I told you, nigga, this was going to happen. Look at you, you played you, ha, 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 ha. A lot of these Asian countries, dudes go out there, next thing you know, you're paying for the chick's whole family. And you still don't see anything wrong with it because she still love bombing you, because she was trained to do that, okay? Those chicks are chameleons for survival. And what people do for survival is a lot more intense than what people do just to come up, just to get some nice things, right? So, you know, here, what it is that our women don't feel the need to appease us. They don't feel the need, bro, to go out of their way to pretend to be something else. So a lot of times we think that our women aren't trainable and these other women are so trainable. It's like, no, these other women are willing to put on an act most of the time. So you either want a chick that is genuinely coachable and trainable, or you want a chick that's just already trained, bro. She was already trained from she was young, and you're not likely to find those in the major cities. So if you're gonna go to these places, my suggestion is go to the major cities first, have a good time, enjoy yourselves, guys. Protect yourself at all times. Think about everything before you do it. Don't be quick to get intoxicated. Try to keep your senses and everything sharp, and plan to go check some of the outskirts, some of the outer towns, you know, some of the neighboring areas or whatever, where life is a little bit slower, a little bit more traditional, and just check that out and see what options are out there and what's going on before you go out there with this already formulated plan and conclusion, guys, because you don't know these places until you've been there multiple times and really learned about it. So I don't want anybody out there rushing into anything. There's a lot of places I don't talk about simply because I've only been there once or twice. That's why you don't see me talking about Brazil a lot, because I haven't been to Brazil many times. I've been to Brazil one time. Whereas I'll talk about Mexico, bro, because I've been to Mexico over 20 times, okay? So it's a little bit different. I really understand a lot about Mexico, and there's still a lot to learn. There's still so much I don't know about it. But one of the things I did notice is that, yes, in Mexico City, in Guadalajara, in like the major cities, the chicks aren't that different from American chicks. Now, you do still have this huge advantage over the market, especially if you're a melanated brother. But they're not wife material like that, bro. That's another thing that I want to say on the way out, is stop thinking that like you're gonna get on a plane, go somewhere, and there's gonna be like all these wives waiting for you, bro. Whoa, chill, slow down a little bit, guys. All right, pace yourself is what I'm saying. All right, and focus more on seeing what your opportunities are for you know, success, forward mobility. You know what I mean? Getting integrated into the culture, the society, what strong, successful guys that you might be able to bond with and build a network with. I think you guys should be thinking more of those kind of things more than like whamming. I think too many dudes are too women-centered in the traveling. I'm not saying it shouldn't be a huge incentive. I'm saying it should be more like a perk, right? If I'm gonna nail some cheerleaders, bro, that's not the reason why I'm winning the football game. I'm trying to win the football game for my team. You know what I'm saying? And then we can party and celebrate afterwards and see what's up with these sexy cheerleaders from our school as well as the other school. But my reasoning for winning is not gonna be to impress some chick. So you guys gotta start looking at women as the spoils of war and stop being that pussy on the sidelines that doesn't wanna go to war. And also, understand that if you're going out there trying to interact and deal with women, you have to bring your A game.
I deserve to have a traditional wife. They want to go be a passport bro. And I'm like, bro, you're fat, you're broke, you don't deserve a traditional wife. You need to level up. The same way they want a traditional girl. The girl, she's going to be way more traditional back in my country. So trust me, she's not marrying you for love, she's marrying you for your green card. So.
Are you against Passport Bros or?
I understand the fundamentals of it for those who have done everything in life to make sure they are a man. But if you're not a man, I don't think you deserve deserve that, honestly. If you don't have your life together, what makes you think you know how to appreciate a traditional wife? If some other guy who's living here who's never had an idea of what a male figure is in his life, he's going based off of whatever little content he picks from the internet. He's saying, well, I want a traditional wife, but therefore he doesn't even have like a credit score. He doesn't even have like his life in check. He's still driving the hoopty from high school. But you want a traditional girl. Like, what happens when you bring that girl over here? You're gonna basically make her a Western woman, and she's gonna realize like this guy really doesn't have his shit together. Now she's gonna cheat on you.
I'm tired of guys talking about this passport phenomenon like it's some type of scapegoat or some type of way to avoid being competitive in the market, dude. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna fall from higher is what's gonna happen, because someone else is gonna go out there and they're gonna outcompete your ass, or there's going to be natives and locals that are outperforming your ass. Because do keep in mind, a lot of these places you go in, they got rich and they got poor.
Been doing a deep dive on the passport bros phenomenon, and here's an insight that a lot of people miss. The way these men are leaving their own countries to go to lower income countries to find wives, and they say that it's because the women there are more feminine and they really value femininity in a woman. They say that the women in their own countries, they're not as feminine anymore, they're masculine, and they just don't want that in a partner. But then I look around me, my neighbors, my friends, and a lot of the women here are feminine, they're beautiful, they have a soft feminine aura, they treat their men well, they cook, they clean, they do everything. And then I realized that I'm in a high income neighborhood and their husbands, they're high earners. This just highlights how femininity has become a luxury in the US. Because it has become a luxury that a lot of men cannot afford, they go to places where femininity is the norm and not luxury. And that's okay, good for them. Bottom line is, if you're a feminine woman, you get the best pick of men in any society. Whether you're an American woman in the US or a foreign woman.
So if you think they don't have high value men there already, you're tripping. And if you think that you're gonna go out there and find these ultra feminine women who really aren't ultra feminine, they're just feminine and everything's comparison, and you're used to women that are ultra mannish and boyish and masculine. So it's not that these women are super feminine. It's just that they're regular, they're on normal. Their femininity's on 5. And the women over here, their femininity's on -5. So you're thinking, wow, these women over here are on 15. No, they're not. They're on the same old 5, bro. So what's gonna happen is your masculinity better be turned up also. Don't think that the dudes there aren't just as traditionally masculine as the women are feminine. So you gotta keep that in mind too. Also, don't be thinking you could just go out to these small towns and run up on their women like that.
Damn, girl, you fine as hell. Where are you from?
Where are you from? Oh, shit. Pay attention. Keep your head on a swivel, bro. Keep your head on a swivel. The dudes ain't just for you coming there, snatching up their chicks and marrying their chicks or whatever in the smaller towns. In the cities, you're going to get less pushback because those dudes are already used to foreign guys coming and banging out their promiscuous chicks. Notice I said that because a lot of you guys go out here and think that these women are somehow innocent. Stop it, guys. Stop it, bro. All you're doing is simping. All you're doing is simping on a different continent, bro. You're simping on a different rock, okay? If you really think that these girls are like these pretty innocent, virtuous girls in these major cities of these other countries just waiting on some American guy to... Nigga, please. All right? These chicks, they know how to put on that front for you. These chicks is almost as bad as the chicks in America, bro. Do not get it twisted. They have the internet, is what I'm trying to tell you. They have the internet. So if they have a lot of the similar characteristics of the women here, they got Instagram, you know what I mean? They're on Tinder, okay? Hold on. Let me say this to you niggas. Don't go out there wifing up, trying to have or start no type of meaningful relationship with no chick that's on dating apps. Let me throw that out there for you, all right? Chicks in the States might use dating apps for like foodie dates or whatever. The chicks out there, bro, they be using dating apps to catch a simp too, bro, all right? So if you're out there looking for a good girl, you're out there looking for a girlfriend, you're out there looking for a wife, all I'm saying is use the same level of skepticism, right? Be just as skeptical of them as you would be women in UK, as you would be women in Toronto, as you would be women in Australia, as you would be women in America. All right, guys, that's all I'm saying. Put them through the same lens that you would put any English-speaking women through.
According to the Passport Bros and the Red Pill guys, I too hold the high honor of being a post-wall, bitter, single baby mama. And one thing you gotta know about me is I take this role very seriously. So at almost 36 years old, I saw an opportunity to come on and just give my opinion and laugh a little bit before I had to really just admit that I am an old bitter hag and throw in the towel and take the shit to Facebook like all of the other old bitter hags. So that's really why, but thanks for commenting and stopping by.
Looking for a good girl, you're looking for a wife, go to where they be, okay? Make sure their mother and father is still married and it's intact. Have respect for brothers, uncles, fathers, grandpas, and all that other kind of stuff, bro. Do not go out there disrespecting these women's culture, bro. Do not go out there disrespecting these dudes. Don't go out there thinking that, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I don't want nobody to get hurt. So take it easy, pump your brakes, and just know that good women that deserve protection are already protected. I want you to let that sink in.
So this is officially my life now. I'm around the most beautiful women in the world, arguably, in my opinion, the most beautiful.
Any woman out there that's actually truly not only wife material, but get on a plane and travel for wife material, she's already gonna be protected, okay? It's not gonna be by a boyfriend or a husband necessarily, but it's going to be by a father or a brother or an uncle or male cousins or something like that, guys. So just know that if you want a respectable woman, you're gonna have to go out there with some respect. If you want a girl out there that's Chas, didn't have a bunch of partners and all of that, then it's not gonna be easy for you to be her next partner.
So, as y'all know, I'm a hot single mom.
All right, so just simple stuff like that, dude. I don't want anybody thinking that this is a cakewalk. It's really not. Make sure you're still leveling up in all areas. Make sure you're being competitive in all areas. And do not lead with your wallet over there the same way you don't lead with your wallet over here.
Why you think they so mad at the Passport Bros? Dudes that they didn't want anyway. You know why they're mad? Because they are terrified that those dudes is gonna fly to another country. They're gonna see how those women act. They're gonna see how those women treat the men. They're gonna experience how those women treat them. And then they're gonna come back and tell us. And then we're gonna look at them and say, wait a minute. We don't have to put up with this?
All right, man, we out of here. I'll catch you guys on the next one. PDD. Oh, hold on. Time out, man. Y'all should have already liked the video. All right? Like the video, please. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Subscribe again if you are subscribed. Press the button again. I don't care. Press the bell notification or whatever. Share it with somebody else. Share it with somebody talking about they about to travel and they about to get all these girls and do the whole 9 yards and all that kind of stuff. And I'll give other tips about traveling and the passport stuff real soon because I'm going to get into it, guys. I'm going to get it from another angle. Everybody's talking about this stuff in these countries. Everybody's arguing with what the women here got to say about it. I want to hear more about what the women over there have to say about it. So go ahead and share it, like it, motivate me to want to go ahead and start making more content again. I need my subscriber joint to double real fast, and we'll go into 2024 strong. We out of here. Peace.
Guys, the next time you feel like going to spend money, go get your passport. It's only $130 US currently, and now is the time to buy land internationally because in about 5 to 10 years, the US dollar is going to deteriorate. So now's the time to go get land, and I hope you know, across the world, some places where you buy land, you do not have to pay taxes. You buy the land and that is your property. The US is deteriorating year by year, so go get your passport while you can and while it's a reasonable price.